think Sydney was already a safe place. The government themselves said that. That was before the lockouts. And so what they essentially did by having a lockout on areas like Oxford Street and King's Cross in the CBD is that they've just dissuaded people from going out. Keep Sydney Open's all about regaining what we've lost over the last couple of years. So Sydney has taken a real blow to its nightlife, but also to its cultural vibrancy in general. There's been so many places that have closed down, so many people have been put out of work. There are less options for bands and for DJs and promoters to be able to really strut their stuff and to be able to do their thing. I'm really worried that if people want to engage culturally with the place in which they live, that they're just not going to choose Sydney as a place to put down their roots. I'm not really one to want to shut down the casino. I think if that's where people want to have their night out, then they should be able to do that. But the fact that you're allowed to go to the casino, a place that is clinically proven to be incredibly damaging to society on a number of levels, whether that's increased alcoholism, to domestic violence, to even self-harm, and to say that that is allowed, yet someone who wants to start up a small music venue, a live music venue, a DJ being able to perform until 2, 3 in the morning, that that's not allowed, is really quite shocking.
When the lockout laws came in, they just came in. I'll be down, say, 10% in bars, and a whopping 40% in bottle shop sales. To fund the sound system, to fund the lighting, pay bookers, essentially the Brighten Up Bar is a cost centre. I really do not want to invest big amounts of money. And again, that's not a way for a small businessman. He shouldn't be put in that position. You know, some people may not come to my venue because they can't kick on afterwards, or we got to go all the way to Oxford Street, and then there's, you know, the vibe of the 1:30 lockout. So they might give that a miss. It is a struggle, especially for people in the lockout zone, because a lot of people made investments, which I did, and now those investments are jeopardised. As long as the stages that they can perform, it's good. I will hang in there as much as I can. There's other hotels now that are introducing live music, which is great. There's so much talent there.
We're in a 8-piece prog soul band called the Baldwins. We're currently about to release our debut EP. As well as our original music, we all do session work and cover gigs and wedding gigs and things like that. With the lockout laws, lots of venues have closed down, which is starting to eliminate the work that we have. You know, and also people's inclination to come out and see this music. Venues will continue to close down.
More underground venues will probably be operating illegally.
Yeah, there's been plenty of these places in the past, as in like warehouses having music, and but the fact is that they're not legal, and so you can't really advertise them properly or anything.
The actual crowds have moved to places where the lockout laws are not really affecting. So
and most of those places have curfews on how long they can have live music for, because they're small bars.
You don't have to look internationally. You can even just go to Melbourne. You know, if you go to Melbourne, there's music playing in so many more venues. It's everywhere. You know, it might be more low key. It might not be big venues. You get a more interesting night culture.
Say us for original music, it affects us trying to reach a new audience in other ways, in other means that aren't the internet and things like that.
Because the less foot traffic we have, that's less people, like the new people that we don't know, listening to our music. And
that's it. You'll often play a venue that's maybe it's a free entry venue, and if your sound's carrying onto the street, people will walk in and they want to see you. If you have less work, it's just more competition, and then it's kind of survival of the fittest.
Wayside exists really to create community, to make a place where everybody feels there's somewhere that they won't be chased away from, somewhere where they won't be judged. Now, I think mostly it's people from the suburbs who came here to act feral and did a pretty good job. They mostly tanked before they got here. And there's no doubt that their behaviour was pretty bad. But the lockout laws seem to be a very drastic measure. And so people will move to go somewhere else. Newtown is jumping. You know, it's all happening down there. I think the people who are in favour of it would argue, you know, the statistics are that there is a lot less police call-outs and a lot less, you know, however you want to measure this, you could make an argument to say it was positive. But my view is that it probably just moved someplace else. So you haven't really saved police call-outs, you've just moved them to the next locality. The whole of history of humanity has always used some substance for social reasons. And, you know, we have some substances that we say are illegal and terrible, and others that we say are okay. And the distinction is a little bit odd because of all the drugs available to us, alcohol would have to be one of the most devastating. Ostensibly because of these few king hits. We now ferry people down to the casino. That's what's happening. Everything about that seems counterproductive to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, have no restrictions there, have restrictions on live music venues. It doesn't make any sense.
I think the biggest solution to anything in Sydney is 24-hour transport.
Trains.
Having trains run past, 12:30, 1 o'clock. If the only option is to, somehow stick around in the city with nothing to do,
exactly.
or get a very expensive Uber or taxi ride home, it just creates a problem.
Why would you throw all these drunk people out into the street at the same time? But, regardless.
A positive thing about the lockouts is that we're actually having these conversations now. I think Sydney had always struggled a little bit with its cultural identity beforehand. It's an unfortunate side effect, but I think that there is a potential for some good to come out of it.
Even though it has affected the nightlife as it currently stands, I think it's already kind of creating a bit of a renaissance in a way, because people are starting to realise that this stuff is valuable. Maybe we've taken it for granted.
I think if King's Cross just washes out and becomes another, vanilla suburb, I'm not sure that that's a mighty step forward for humanity.
Sydney's dead, you gambled black and red and you sold our soul. Such a vibrant place for a casino race, or the perfect space for a funeral. And it may seem fine if you're from 1959. That was a great year for wine. How does your Penfolds taste? Well, hey there, Mike, it's time to take a hike on your corruption bike. It's time for you to go, 'cause you'll never stop us dancing. You'll never stop us late night romancing.